We got one over here? Oh, yeah, we know we gotta get one from Chris.
Okay, so this mic working?
Yeah.
This is...
I'm just gonna say, Kimmy, I heard in an interview or something that you would actually audition for the part of Nora. And I'm just wondering if you had gotten past Nora, how Nora was it different in your
I never would have been cast as Laura, because I wouldn't get inside a plastic bag if you paid me. No, I auditioned with Audrey's sides, Laura's sides, and Shelley's sides, but I never used them because we never got to that, because I wouldn't stop talking.
This question is for Catherine. How did the scene when you were at the Double R Diner and you were chewing your gum and you spit it out on the table and then just pin it up against the wall, how did that come about? It's very interesting.
I have a special gift, which is that I can spit really far. And I don't know if David knew that or we discovered it in the moment, but pitch gum is the kind of stuff that you break off the tree, and then if you chew it, it gets soft. And David evidently, going back to his dad, knew about pitch gum and breaking it off the tree and chewing it. And so he wanted the log lady to chew pitch gum, and that it was slightly annoying to Norma. So there was just this scene one day, we showed up. You know, lots of times it was like being in a big sandbox. You just show up and then David would place you and you just play. And this was a day where I was to chew this gum and then he wanted me to spit it. And I spit so far that the whole crew applauded. About me after that.
I just had a question about, during the beginning of season 2, did any of the actors or anyone behind the scenes have any knowledge or speculation about Piper Laurie's mystery character? Did any of you think, who's that dude? Or Taja Mora? Did anyone know or wonder or talk about, like, was there any, you know, where did this guy come from and what's it all about?
None of us, to my knowledge, no one knew except Patty Norris and David. It was a huge secret, and this new Japanese actor came on the set, and I didn't know, none of us knew that it was Piper. It was really a well-kept secret for a number of times, I think, maybe 3 days. You know, there's this panel that we did at USC Film School that you can get on, YouTube, I think.
Yes. Thank you, Alex.
Or Trojan Vision. Yeah, somebody knows about it. Okay. And that story is told in that panel, the real story of what happened. And Piper talked about it when really no one knew. So it was a huge, I mean, I had a whole conversation with her, not knowing that it was the woman I usually sat next to in the trailer. So it was pretty well kept, didn't you think? Yeah. It was a very well kept secret.
Jennifer, there were so many scenes in the diary that were so sexually provocative. I was wondering if that was awkward for you, knowing your father was going to be that.
Kathy told me to stand up. When you talk about sexually provocative scenes, you stand up. How incredibly self-conscious I feel all of a sudden. It was not weird knowing that my father was going to read it, and that is probably a testament to how strange my relationship with my father has been. I think, you know, and I don't even know for a fact that he's actually read the diary, but there isn't a lot my father and I haven't talked about. I was more, I think, concerned about my mother reading and my daughter reading. But yeah, Laura had a lot of sex, and I think people have a lot of sex, and teenagers have a lot of sex in their heads. So yeah, there you go, sex.
Hello, I have a question for James. Did you ever think when you were filming that you killed Laura Palmer?
Did I know who killed Laura Palmer?
Did you think that you did?
I'm sorry, did I think that I did?
Yeah.
David had asked barely, I mean, he barely touched on it, but he said, he goes, James, I think the way I remember it is he said, James, you didn't do it, but I would love to play it as though we're just really not sure. Your character's gonna hold this. That's why I really, the pilot and the episodes he directed were just insane. But the pilot, like, to me, it was just sheer poetry. And that's the vibe he had all building up to the pilot, even in making it. And that's what his thing was like, you know, you gotta play this, like, the audience is kind of going, did that guy, like, you know, he really, you know, so keep that there where you might be a little nuts or you might be a little, you know, whatever, but we got to make it so that you can easily go back to the love thing and all that stuff where we realize your innocence and all that or whatever. So, no, to answer your question, I always knew that I didn't do it because he basically told me outright, he said, look, you thought I want that because he wanted that dynamic there, so that was covered, so, but yeah, thanks.
We're going to take this question and one more.
So, all of you played wonderful characters, very memorable, amazing. But if you could have played any other character, what character would you wanted to play? All of you that were. Yeah, you right there.
If I could have played any character, or if we could have played any character?
Another character
within the show?
Yeah,
if I had my choice, honestly, swear to God, it definitely would have been James. That's why it was like, that's why it was so, you know, you regret that it ended, sort of, because, oh, perfect, you know, so, but yeah, thanks.
Mine would have been Lynch on Mod Squad.
Yeah!
I'm gonna go Log Lady. I love being the Log Lady, and I love being here with all of you. It's just the best job in the world. And I do have a special relationship with wood as a result of it. But I think if I had a moment where I could just switch for one episode, it would be the character that David Duchovny played.
I think I would have made a great Lucy.
This last question.
Hi, I'm Wes, and I just want to say thank you all for showing up for this festival. I really appreciate what we all do. My question is for Catherine. and it's regarding the Log Lady intros that were on the Gold Box DVD set. I've heard conflicting stories about when those were recorded, if they were like recorded while the show was on the air, or if they were recorded after the series ended. So I was just wanted to get confirmation from you how the...
I can give you the straight story. No pun intended. David got an offer from the Bravo network to run the series, and he got an idea that they should be introduced. And he wrote these introductions in the beginning, I think, of 1993. And he was in Madison, Wisconsin, and his office sent him little synopses of each episode, because he couldn't, remember which was which exactly. And he wrote them very quickly. In a couple of days. He said he was inspired by going into the woods, and then he would come home and write. And then I got them probably 2 days before we shot them, and they rented a small studio, and we recorded them all in one day, really fast. And we had, Patty Norris supplied some of the old costumes, and we found some of the props, but the show had stopped shooting in '91, right? So it was a couple of years after. So they kind of went into the warehouse, dressed a set. I think Richard Hoover, the designer, designed this set. We had a boarded up fireplace. And I brought my teddy bear from childhood, which, if you notice, it moves around in the different episodes. I've never told anyone that. Teddy. And we had really very little time, because the very next day I was going off to do a play, and there was no stopping it. I was already cast, and I was going on to do this play. And I remember about 2/3 of the way through, we were all really tired, and David said, "Can we do the rest tomorrow?" And I said, "No, we can't." So we did them all in one day, and I think there was, they came on Bravo, and then they've just kind of been connected to it ever since. I still haven't actually seen all of them. I kind of like to see them. I know that some of them, as an actor, trying to find the action behind it and make sense of it was, something I had to do very quickly. But David is such a good director and so helpful that he helped me find the inner meaning of a drawer pool. I mean, things like that you wouldn't normally be able to figure out. He can help you figure it out. So it was really a fun, very long day, but we had a good time doing it. But it was after the show had finished. Thank you.
All right. Okay, so we're going to take, it is, oh my goodness, it's almost exactly 9 o'clock, James. Okay, so in 15 minutes. 15 minutes. Ironically, it isn't 15 minutes. I just realized I said that. But anyhow, okay, it is 9 o'clock. At 9:15, we are starting the costume contest. So, now is your time to go change, if you need to go change. If you need to go smoke a cigarette, if you need to go to the Black Lodge,